Hello, happy Saturday, welcome to a weekend vlog. I decided to vlog this weekend. Sorry, I just had a big mouthful of Coke. My timing always with drinking is dreadful. I decided we're gonna have a bit like this week has been. As you can hear, my voice is, if you watch the weekly vlog, my voice is pretty much back, which is great. And I'm feeling not bad. Belly, but the rest of me is not bad. So I decided, like this week's been, we're gonna have creative weekend. We're gonna work on getting some stuff finished, basically. I would like to cover every bit of creativity I can this weekend. So we are going to work on 3 things. 4 would be good, but 3 is realistic. 3 is a push, to be honest. I might add a 4th thing in depending on time, but it is edible, so yeah. Basically, I want to do something crochet, sewing, art, like sketchbook, and baking. I thought would be fun. So for these 4 projects, we're going to do my rainbow and black crochet v-neck jumper I'm working on, which I'll show you in a minute. We're going to sew together my sparkly dungarees I have cut out ready to go. We're going to start a new habit which I want to turn into, I thought we'd test it out this weekend and then hopefully we'll start it next week every day. When I had my sleepless night this week, I had so many art TikToks come up and there's so many, it was so good. And yeah, one of them was literally set a timer and just work for 10 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's good, ugly, bad, doesn't matter. Just do something in a sketchbook 10 minutes a day. And I'm like, that's the kind of thing I need, and that's a really good habit for me to start setting up. Then if I want to work longer I can, but at least 10 minutes. 10 minutes is nothing. So yeah, so I want to start that this weekend, so I'm going to try and do 10 minutes today and 10 minutes tomorrow. And then yeah, I'm hoping that if I turn it into a daily habit, I can then film those 10 minutes a day. Set a camera up, just, you know, overhead camera, using the nice little pop-up table I've got. Set up the overhead camera so you can see what I'm doing. And we just talk 10 minutes a day while I do artwork. And I will film each 10 minutes a day and make it its own little like art vlog a week. I thought would be fun. Number 1, it holds me accountable. Number 2, it makes me do stuff. Number 3, I have so many sketchbooks I need to catch up on. I have an old galleries and exhibitions and museums sketchbook that I need to finish. I have my travel sketchbook from last year I need to finish. Then I have my travel sketchbook from this year I need to start. And that's not including just my just for fun sketchbooks. So yeah, so they're just 3 that I would really like to get going and finished. So yeah, so I thought that would be a really good way for me to work on stuff. Even if it's like one day I do the base painting for something and then the following day I can do the finished bit of painting. You know, it makes me actually do stuff. So yeah, so that will be the art bit. And for the baking, I thought we could do the triple chocolate M&S type cookies, of which I have a recipe for saved on my TikTok. And the great thing is you make a decent bit of dough. I was meant to make it at Christmas and I never did. You make a decent amount of the dough and you can actually freeze it, and the idea of just ready rock and roll cookies in my freezer sounds amazing right now. So yeah, because I'm kind of planning to be a bit more financially careful and responsible in June. I've been a bit, well, I've been unwell and all kinds of things. This month has been very up and down mental wise and all kinds of things. I fully acknowledge, which is a thing, you know, I don't often do. Fully acknowledge I've overbought food, I've been overspending on Vinted, I've overspent on wool, you know, I've just, yeah, I've tried to chase that dopamine fix with buying stuff. And it worked at the time, but here we are at the end of the month and I'm just, yeah, so I'm like, let's try getting our dopamine fix from something that doesn't cost money. So yeah, so we're not going to do that. So That's kind of the plan for this weekend. I obviously had yesterday off because I was very tired from my jaunt to town. So yeah, we are indoor bound this weekend just because it makes sense. But let me show you what I've done. I have already this morning had a really lovely like hour and a half chat with my mum. It was really nice. So yeah, so that was amazing. And while I was doing that, I was able to. I started it last night. I finished off this side of the cardie, and actually I was able to use some of, I decided where I'd lost, if you saw I'd lost yarn chicken with this, I just tied the blue on, and then I did that, and then I even ran out of blue, so it's got the tiniest bit of black. So yeah, so, but it doesn't matter because these are 2 balls of wool I've crocheted over 3 days and made a good chunk of a jumper. And then last night and then this morning I have crocheted 2 halves on the back for the neckline bit, so that will be the neckline here, which actually works just, I'm not too sure whether maybe I should do another row or 2, but then again I haven't blocked it either, but I know that that's going to go there, so I'm not too sure whether I should maybe add, because it's quite short and I've obviously got a wider neck than that, so I'm thinking taking it to here, which I think is another 2 rows on each side. Yeah, so I'm thinking I'm going to add a little bit more black to each side, another 2 rows each side, just, that's the first time I've actually measured it. And then do the connecting stitch in the middle, so this will be connected with a granny stitch down the middle, and then I'm going to do the same connecting granny stitch down the arms, and then there's a black bit connecting it there. And then we go back to the pattern, and I think we work on the V-neck bit. I'm not sure. I'm following a pattern by Genie Frog Crochets. I will link it down below. It's a 2-part tutorial. So yeah, so I'll link both parts down below, as well as their YouTube and their TikTok, because I sat and watched one of their TikTok lives the other day. They're a lovely, she's a lovely lady. So yeah, no. So yeah, so I could give them a follow and everything, you know, if you are a crochet human or you just like to sit and watch things with just nice people chatting. So yeah, so that's kind of the aim on this is, yeah, I need to do 2 more rows now of crochet on these back bits, connect them, and then connect the sleeves, and then I can go back and follow the tutorial, because I'm wearing a V-neck t-shirt for a reason today, because this is going to be a V-neck jumper. So I obviously need to know what level of V-neck I feel comfortable with, so I thought if I put a t-shirt on that's V-neck, I know what my levels of V-neck are for what I will wear. So yeah, and then obviously do the V-neck in the front, extend the arms, extend the body in black is the aim. So yeah, so that is my crochet project for this weekend that I'm hoping to really get done. Because it is amazing how quickly it can work up, and the joys of granny stitching is very monotonous, very quick to do. Dungarees shouldn't be too bad. So yeah, so I think the most annoying bit of that is pleats, and like sandwiching things the right way, because obviously I'm doing, rather than like edging, like facing, I'm doing a full-on cut the same bit twice so it's fully lined, and then we'll fold it down and stitch it, so then everything, all the seams are contained inside, because I like that kind of style. So yeah, so I just need to figure out bits to sew it, but I think I will sew that this afternoon, although we are already at 11:30. I want to work and get this back bit crocheted and connected and the arms connected before I go into the sewing, is the kind of aim. So yeah, so we're going to do that, and then yeah, we will get sewing this afternoon. So obviously I will catch up with you once I'm done crocheting this back bit of this card. I keep calling it cardie, it's not, it's a jumper. The back bit of this jumper, I'm going to do a couple more rows on each side. Now I've measured it, connect it all, connect the arms, and then I'll show you what I've done, because by then I can actually try it on as a thing. And then yeah, we will crack on with some sewing. So there we go. So that's, yeah, this weekend's plan is, yeah, it's a creative weekend. So yeah, crochet, sewing, sketchbook, baking, my 4 creative loves. So yeah, so I'll catch up with you as I get going and as I finish a bit of this crochet jumper before I move on to my next project of the weekend. So yeah, because obviously today I'm going to go between sewing and crochet, and then tomorrow will be sketchbook, probably crochet as well, and baking, because I could see crochet taking a bit longer with the sleeves and the bottom bit. So yeah, but all good though. That's the joys of, you know, nice weekend plans. So yeah, so I'll catch up with you beautiful folks in a wee bit as I get going and as I get some part of this finished, as I get the back bit done and it connected so it is all try-onable without being held together by stitch markers. So yeah, so I'll catch up with you lovely folks in a wee bit. Hello, we are a few hours later and I've done some work. Let me sit you down and adjust and show you. There we go. So I've just been debating whether I should leave it as this, but I don't want to, because I think once it's got the black and the v-neck here, it'll be so cool, and obviously a bit longer. So yeah, what I'm not going to do is make the sleeves any longer. I'm going to give it a black edge in. I've given it a connecting stitch. I did a different one this time, which is like 2 little triangles. But yeah, I'm going to give it a black edge in so it all has this like black bit connecting it. The black down the back works wonderfully. But yeah, I was like, oh, do I just add a bit of ribbing? And I'm like, no, I think once this is a bit more fitted in, and then the v-neck, it'll be great as a little cardie, as a little jumper, especially like with just a vest top or something. Yes, so I'm really pleased at how far I've got on that. It looks really good as one piece. It's not bad for 2 balls of wool that we started this week, so yeah, there we go. So this is the crochet part, kind of done for the moment. But yeah, no, but yeah, I was tempted to maybe just add ribbing and then leave it as a little thing, but I'm like, it'll be nice to have something that's just actually just pull on wearable. And I don't always want cardigans. As much as I love a cardigan, I don't always want cardigans, but I will keep it this short arm length because yeah, covers up my upper arms. I've got obviously my big castle tattoo this side, my lady on this side who's, God, 10-15 years old now. I've had her a while. And obviously I always put sun cream on my lower arm tattoos, but no, I do like to have arm coverage in the summer, for just, you know, keeping my tattoos safe, because I've spent a lot of money getting them. So yeah, so I'm quite pleased at how far I've got on this so far. It is, as a time check, it's just gone 1:30. So yeah, so also we have another added in thing in our list of creativity. There are technically going to be 5: crochet, sewing, sketchbook, baking, gardening. I've got a couple little plants I need to plant up before my mum comes tomorrow with her friend and collects my garden. It's heartbreaking. Genuinely, I'm quite sad that I don't get my garden for a chunk of this summer, but they're about to roof it. I don't know how long it's going to be then till they do the balcony, and yeah, I'm just like, I want my garden looked after, and I trust my stepdad so much. So yeah, so he will care for it. He even, you know, joked, he said some bits might disappear. I'm like, best not. So yeah, but no, he's gonna look after it for me, which is really nice. So yeah, but it doesn't get rid of the fact that my nice little evening therapy of, you know, checking my garden, watering my plants in the morning and the evening, I'm just not gonna have this year. So yeah, I'm a bit sad about that. So, but yeah, but there are a couple plants I need to plant out in my garden before it all gets moved tomorrow, all the pots. Basically I have a container garden on my balcony, and I do have some house plants that I will plant up, so then I've got at least house plants to look after. But yeah, so there we go. But while I am obviously doing all this creativity and trying to get stuff done, we're not guaranteeing ourselves, so this is a trial. We're going to see how much we can get done this weekend. But yeah, I'm also doing house jobs, it's the weekend, I need to do house jobs, you know. Normal life doesn't quite stop as much as I want to sit and just be entirely artistic and creative and, you know, chase the dopamine. I can't. So yeah, so I've actually got a wash load I need to do. I've just about an hour ago sprayed a shit ton of just bathroom cleaner all over my bathroom, so I need to now go in there, wipe everything, put everything back where it needs to go. So yeah, so I'm kind of doing jobs as we're going, so I'm really pleased with how far I've got on this so far today. I think I will stop this just for the moment, crack on with these couple of jobs, and I think then I will start doing some sewing, because yeah, I think once I get going with the sewing, that is not going to take me too long to do it actually. So, and then I can carry back on with crocheting this today. The only thing I might do, if I am working into this evening, which I probably will because Ryan is out this evening, I probably will have the Evil top light on, or use the craft light I've got in my room. It's a clippy one from Temu, but it's like a bendable one with like a little ring light bit on it, but it's really good for crafting. So I may bring that in here and like attach it to like the back of the sofa and have it coming down, so I've got all the black lit up, because crocheting with black wool is a challenge, let alone in evening light. So as much as I'd like to just sit and crochet my daytime away, I'm also no good with sewing in the evening unless I'm rushing, which is never good, because I'm also sewing with black. So yeah, of all the colours I've picked to do lots of crafting with today, black was not the one, but it goes so well with these colours, you know. So you can see, kind of see what I now mean by rainbow goth. It just works. It picks out the little bit of black that this wool is like intertwined with. So it's like, yeah, it's like it was sort of a darker colour mixed with black in it, so it really gives it that sort of, you know, muted rainbow. But yeah, and I love this little zigzag connection stitch. I will link it below. It was by Craft and a Cuppa, or Craft with a Cuppa, something like that. I will link it down below. It's part of their hexagon thing, but I just pinched their connection tutorial bit. So yeah, so I will link that down below in case you ever feel the need to do one of these. There is all the tutorials I'm following, because I'm following tutorials for this. I'm not making it up as I go, I am kind of following tutorials. So yeah, the only thing I could do where I just needed, you know, just a reminder, and then I could go away, you know, go ahead with it by myself, was just the starting of a hexie cardigan. And yeah, but once I got it, I was like, oh yeah, no, whiz. So then I just could do that without even thinking. But yeah, so now I'm very happy with this so far. It fits, it sounds stupid, it fits really well in my armpit. I'm terrible for not getting my measurements right, as we all know, but this fits so nicely. That's why I'm like, do I keep it? And I'm like, no, if it fits nice in the armpit once I've got the front bits on, it will be such a lovely cardi, and then it will follow that black stripe on the back down the front. So yeah, it's no good. I think it should be, yeah, a thing, and then just wear it with like a vest up underneath or something. Will be so good. So yeah, that's kind of my aim. But there we go. So I'm really pleased with how far I've gotten this. But yeah, I'm gonna have a moment. I'm gonna do some house jobs quickly for like an hour or so. I'm gonna have some lunch because I'm hungry. And I'm gonna read through the instructions for the sewing pattern, because although I am not following them exactly, because I'm not doing like the button band and I'm not doing the dungaree straps the exact way, I do want to make sure that I'm pinning the pleats the right way and that kind of thing. So yeah, so if I can get a whole load of stuff pinned on it ready to go, and like figure out what way I've got to attach the pockets to make them right. So yeah, if I can get a whole load of stuff pinned and ready to go, and I probably will work on it slightly different than they would, but yeah, if I can like get all the pleats and the pockets on, and then the straps and the front bib all connected, and then sew that on, and yeah, it will come together really quick, I think. So yeah, so that's kind of my aim today, is yeah, get those done and this done, so then, you know, never know, by the end of the weekend I could be showing off this with a little shirt underneath, because obviously it's got holes, you can see through it, and I'm not that confident enough to just wear a bralette with something like this. That's a bit too far for me. So yeah, probably a vest top will be better for me. I will say it's lovely and soft though, so yeah. But yeah, you never know, by the end of the weekend there could be a final shot on the what have we made today of me eating a cookie wearing this crocheted jumper with dungarees over it. That would be pretty awesome. That would be amazing actually. So you never know. But for now, yeah, I've got to move clean wash in, put out wet wash in, and yeah, go clean my bathroom, rather depressingly, but evil necessaries. Get that done, then I can work on sewing pattern. And then sew dungarees and then come back to this. So yeah, so that's the aim today. Sewing and crochet are the two aims for today. Tomorrow we will crack on baking and artwork and gardening. So yeah, but I'll catch up with you in a wee bit once I've had my, you know, blast of, you know, house jobs and lunch. And yeah, we'll get busy with the fizzy. But there we go, there is an update. It is wearable. Now I just need to work on it post sewing. So yeah, so I'll catch up with you in a bit. Hello, I have done some house jobs. So washing is dry, bathroom is clean. So yeah, feel good about that. Had some lunch. I just had lots of little pots of things. I had a chocolate mousse, a lemon Greek yogurt, and a jelly and custard, because I just fancied that kind of cold lunch today. I put my fan, which is on over there, my beloved little Woozoo from Costco, tilted it up so it hits the higher bit of the room, and put it on full blast so and spin, so it's kind of like in aircon mode, and it cools the whole room down, because there's ways they show you in the instructions how to do it, so it points and, you know, shoots the air around the room and cools it down. It's very good. So yeah, so got that going. I'm just still finding bits and pieces of YouTube to sit with background today, and I've just sat and done a whole load of pins. This is the bib bit of my overalls, dungarees. These are the straps. Down here I have the back bit. This is the other half of the pocket and the back panel bit, because I'm going to do the back bit afterwards, but let me show you the front that I've pinned all the things. So that was a bit up close and personal, wasn't it? I have pinned the pleats, and obviously the fronts will get sewn together, and I've pinned the half of the pocket, so once that's sewn on I'll flip it, tuck it round, and then put this other half of the pocket on, because it's one with the bits, so then that'll fill in the gap. But yeah, so sparkly dungarees are a go. So I've kind of done as much pinning and prepping as I can, so I now need to just get my sewing machine, get these pleats sewn down, pocket sewn on, so then I've got a whole load of pins back again. Then I can pin the front crotch, sew that together, then I've got two front sides basically. Then I will sew the straps, put them in the front bib bit, sew that all round, turn it inside out, then the front bib is done, so then technically I can attach it to the front. And then I've got to do the back pleats. The back bit is just a wide bit of fabric, because as I said before, on the instructions it's like split and it had like loops on it, but I've just made this bit here, that little band there, I've made it one long bit, just doubled up, so I need to basically sew it together and then fold it. So that one I'm kind of making up as I go when it comes to the back, and then also obviously I need to then try it on and pin the straps into the right place. So yeah, it gets a bit more complicated for the back. Front, easy, follow the instructions pretty much, apart from the pockets. Obviously I'm not doing a bib front pocket or back pocket, but doing the normal pockets. And yeah, so these shouldn't actually take that long to come together. I mean, it's now just coming up to 4 o'clock, so 10 to 4. I've had a chat with Roy, doing well at his workshop. He's went there for the day. It's tomorrow, the steam fair. We both got the days wrong. So yeah, so he's off to do that tomorrow. But yeah, so all good. But no, feeling very pleased today with how far we got and stuff. So yeah, so I'm going to crack on with some sewing and I'll probably catch up with you. I obviously will probably film a little bit of a time lapse, but you know, I want to get the complicated bits done first, and then I'll probably time lapse the simpler bits where it's just straight line sewing and hems and stuff like that. But the complicated bits with pleats, I want to be able to just call it rude names and swear at it. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of ease, so that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, so I'm going to get my sewing machine all set up. I'm going to check if I need to wind any bobbins, because I'm not sure if I have any black thread bobbins pre-wound. I don't think I do. I've kind of been mullering bobbins for ages, so yeah, I might have to prep some bobbins just to get them all ready. And yeah, so hopefully when I next catch up with you, I should have the two front bits of my dungarees done, the trousers, pockets, and the front bib and the straps. Then we've got to work on the back. So yeah, so I'll catch up with you when we get to that part, and I can, you know, explain what I've done so far, and then yeah. But yeah, so there'll be a little bit of sewing B-roll, we'll call it. So yeah, so I'll catch up with you in a bit. Hello, we are a bit further in the afternoon. It is just coming up to 10 to 6. I have had a good 20 minutes, half an hour doom scrolling moment, but the bobbin has just run out, so I'm seeing that as my sign just to stop sewing for the day. I've got to the like complicated, got to try it on bit. I don't want to do that right now. So let me show you how far I've got. First of all, I have made the front bib bit, and it's got the straps attached and they're all sewn inside, and yeah, it's all very spangly. So yeah, it looks like I'm making clothing for Glastonbury. I'm not. I'm making clothing to go food shopping. And I've got the trousers done, the shorts part. No, that's upside down, Cheryl. There we go. So yeah, so I have got all of the pleats sewn in. These are the front pleats, and then there is a pocket here, a really good pocket, like good pocket. And there is a couple of pleats on the back that are all sewn in, and yeah, they're nice, slightly longer shorts, because yeah, shorts have that much inner leg length, which no. I prefer longer shorts. So yeah, so you know, these ones won't go hiking up, which is great. But yeah, really cute and spangly. I've got the pleats just pinned down for the moment, just so it helps with, you know, me, my brain. And I've got the top of the pockets pinned. But what I need to do, there is just this one piece I haven't sewn, which is the bit I'm kind of making up. The rest of this technically is on the instructions. This is the bit I'm making up, which is the back band, which they have as two halves, and then you loop the ties through. I'm going to make it one big long bit along the back, and that's what the straps are going to get attached into, so it's all in one. And there is stretch in it. It took me a moment to get the machine going properly. I had to change to a stretch needle. I have had to change the top thread. It just wasn't very good, and I've been using zigzag stitch because this obviously has stretch. So yeah, so but it is now, you know, I'd say 80% done, which is great. But yeah, I've just got to figure out this back bit, in what order to sew it. I need to figure out if I sew it to the sides and then do the top bit with the things in and then attach. It's a bit complicated to figure out how I should be attaching it to the trousers, the ties and the bib, basically. It's quite complicated, so I'm not quite up for that mental gymnastics right now. So the bobbin just ran out and I'm seeing that as fate saying let's stop, you know. Sorry, YouTube's a bit loud. Ping it down a bit. So yeah, so that is as far as I've got, which I think is actually really successful for a few hours sewing, to be honest. So I will continue with that tomorrow and we'll get it finished tomorrow. But I will say, I'm sure if it's going to show on camera, there's a slight sheen on my hands of like, it's not full on glitter, but it's slightly sparkly, so there is a little bit of rub off from this fabric, but I don't care. They're really cute, and to be fair, even if all the shiny stuff rubbed off and it ended up just being a dull silver, it would still look really cool, so I don't really care. It's going to look amazing. So yeah, so I'm really chuffed with them. I'm going to put my sewing machine back. I'm going to go wash my hands, and yeah, just have a bit of a moment because I've been quite productive so far today. And yeah, I think what I might do is watch the tutorial on how to do the v-neck bit, and get that figured out, because obviously I've never done it before, so I need to watch that through and figure out how to do it. And there, I might carry on with that today, might not, probably will, to be honest, know me. But I think, yeah, I'm going to give myself a good hour or so to just break, and then I'll watch YouTube and then come back into that later, because obviously the joys of, you know, the changing of the time and all that, it's now lighter for longer. So yeah, all good. Obviously, of my list of now 5 things, it is very ambitious. So yeah, so the reality is, if I get a couple of half done projects, it's still been an amazingly productive weekend. So yeah, it's just, you know, I want to try lots of crafts. I don't want to finish all of them necessarily, be lovely to, but you know, realism says why not. So yeah, I'm going to do some useful things, like I'll go back to doing a couple of house jobs, depressingly. But part of that is I'm going to get my big mixer bowl off my mixer. It needs to soak, so I'm going to soak that along with the hook in it, so then we can use that tomorrow to make some cookies in the mixer, because I love using my mixer. It's like proper candy apple red, and yeah, it will be so much easier in the mixer. So I kind of do have to remind myself I am getting over being poorly and I'm not 100%, so as much as my brain's like, we can do everything, my body's a bit, let's give ourselves some time. We can't do everything, but we can do a bit of nice things. So yeah, so that's what we're kind of at right now, is yeah, I'm going to pack away the sewing stuff and I'm going to give myself an hour just to go and yeah, probably watch a tutorial on how to do the v-neck. And I think if I can get the v-neck bit of my jumper done today, that would be amazing, because then tomorrow would only be the finishing touches really on it. So yeah, so we will see on that, because that's kind of my idea of a good evening project, because it's a bit mindless and repetitive, and I enjoy that kind of stuff. I know I grizzle sometimes about mindless crochet, but it is very pleasant when that's what you're kind of mentally up to and capable of doing. So yeah, but no, definitely I think out of them we're gonna definitely manage 3, you know, even if that is 10-minute sketchbook, crochet and baking, and we get most of a pair of dungarees done. Would be nice to get them done tomorrow, but it just depends on if I'm in the mood to fit them, to be entirely honest, because yeah, been quite bloaty today and just quite sore and just not in the mood to be putting on clothes to fit them. So yeah, so we will see on that front. But if it's still at the stage it is now, tomorrow evening, I've done a lot in like a few hours, so it's still really good. And then on a good day when I'm on whiz, you know, this is why you don't ever give yourself strict sewing time scales. So yeah, so but I'm gonna have a stop for a bit, And yeah, just take it easy because it is very hot, and it's really like warm and muggy today. It's like really just, it sounds weird, the air is thick. You understand that kind of thing. It's just, yeah, it's not quite. So yeah, so I think I'm gonna go chill, but there we go. So made lots of progress so far today on sewing and crochet, and obviously there will be some more crochet happening, and yeah, I will probably update you on crochet tomorrow. But yeah, tonight is chill evening. The boy is out at his workshop. I have got a ready meal, the last of my 3 ready meals. They're very good actually. I'm a sucker for a pasta ready meal. I really like them. I've got chicken and bacon pasta tonight, so yeah, so I've got a very easy dinner and a very easy pudding. It'll be an ice cream and an ice pop because I like having both. So yeah, so on that fine note, I will catch up with you beautiful people tomorrow, and we will continue this creative weekend after this creative week. But yeah, so hope you enjoyed, and yeah, I'll catch up with you beautiful folks tomorrow. Hello, I'm battling the most lovely sun, but my face. But if I sneak into the shadows, it makes the contrast work on my camera. I have just done the first half of the V-neck of the jumper. I got to about here, that's as deep as I want the V to go, and then I've just continued across straight, so it's like more scoop, but it's still different. So yeah, so there we go. I've done the 8 rows the same as the back, so that's where I started, and that's where I kind of wanted the V to stop. I have put the same stitch markers on the opposite side, so I will do that side now, do 8 rows. I was thinking about maybe doing this like zigzag style join, but I'm thinking I'm just gonna actually sew it together at the front, because I think this front panel will be nice and more solid, and then the bottom crochet to make it a little bit longer. So yeah, so that's how that's working. I keep picking my eye. There's like a little sore bit here, and I keep picking it. This little there it is, the little tiny scab there. I keep getting that, and it pisses off my eye. So my eyes went swollen and pissed off from picking my eye, because my brain goes, there's a scab, let's do this. So yeah, fun times. But that is what I'm doing. So yeah, so in all honesty, it's 10 to 8. I will probably have this done by tomorrow. So I know I've already said goodbye for the day, but I thought I'd just update you with what I'm actually doing crochet wise. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow with a finished jumper, fingers crossed. So yeah, so see you tomorrow. Hello, happy Sunday. We've got another busy creative day today. Let me show you how far I got with some bits yesterday. Obviously you saw the time project. It's like 11:20 in the morning. I have not done anything yet today, so the sewing project is as it was. I'm hoping to get it done today, but we will see. It's not on my urgent list out of sewing or sketchbook. I'm thinking I prefer to do sketchbook today because I have done some sewing, so I've sort of scratched that itch, if you get what I mean. Today was, this weekend was a thing of doing creative things, not necessarily getting everything finished. So yeah, here is my jumper. Obviously it's black, so it's hard to see. There's the front V-neck, and it goes a little bit straight, and yeah, so there we go. There's the 2 panels, and I've started to crochet along the bottom. I did it and then had to take it off and redo it because I tried to decrease, and I was making it up as I went along, which wasn't a good idea. So yeah, so I took that off. My plan is, at the moment there are 2 rows of decreases of granny stitch on there. I want to do about 4 or 5, and then I plan to do a ribbing base, just so then it makes it like just so it hits my hips, so it's a good length jumper basically. And then I want to single crochet around the edge, so then there is a black all the way around this edge, and also at the end of the cuffs I want to do a like liner single crochet, or like granny stitch and then single crochet at the end of the cuffs, at the end of the arms, because I don't want them full length. So yeah, so this is looking awesome. I do only have this much black wool left, so I will have to go get another ball of black wool out of my wool that I have organised. Let me go show you my garden, because that is going to be moved out within the hour. So I need to go plant some bits out before it's moved out. I feel quite sad it's going, so yeah. But you'll have to excuse how it looks. It is very thirsty, but I on purpose have not watered it the past few days, although there has been a little bit of rain, but not really, because it's covered in scaffolding. Because moving pots, you don't want to add weight with water, so I've kind of on purpose not watered it, and my mum said she's going to give it a real good soak when it gets to her house. So yeah, so it's looking a little bit sad, but that's okay. So yeah, so let me go show you my little garden before it gets taken apart. Yeah, we've had a little bit of change at our plans. Ryan's not going out today. They were out quite late last night and his friend is feeling a bit rough today, so yeah, so Ryan is homeward bound, which is cool. Also, please excuse the noise outside. I live quite near a community centre, and they have church, like the big church things happen on Sunday, and obviously this Sunday is a very busy thing, so yeah, they've got speakers and stuff outside, so quite a celebration today. But I'll show you my little garden before it gets taken apart, so at least, you know, if I feel the need I can look at my little garden on camera before, yeah. But this is the scaffolding that's covering my balcony currently, so yeah, that's blocking everything. My aim is I need to plant this little geranium here, this succulent sedum, and that hebe is going to go here. So I'm going to take this out, put the hebe in here, geranium's going to go in another pot, and in that little gap there I have a scented geranium that I'm going to put in there. These long pots are just going to go in my shed. Then I've got my mimosa, the zebra grass, my fennel, this wormwood. This is not looking happy, but it does perk back up very quickly with a drink. I think this is kind of dead. Let's give it a scrape. Yeah, that's dead. That got a bit cooked in the sun. My variegated acer, my weird little shrub that is technically a potato plant, and then there's my black zebra grass, black grass even. Some bits have been attacked by snails and slugs, but see how dry everything is. So these are my little pots. They're not looking their best, but you know, I tried. And then there's, yeah, some that are just empty that I'll just put in the shed. Some with like sedum and stuff. So yeah, so some of it will move out, some of it is just going to go in the shed as empty pots. But there is my wee little garden before I have to take it apart, and obviously the pole of doom. So there we go. Yeah, that's today's aim. Is I was going to plant up a couple of those little plants, the two geraniums, the sedum and the hebe, and then start moving plant pots in here. Don't really have a toppy thing to put on the floor, so I might just go get a bed sheet or something just to sit them on, just so I don't get mud everywhere really. It makes it easier if like all the edge pots have already been taken off, and then the long bits can be stacked ready to go in the shed. it just feels really sad, but evil necessary. So, but at least I suppose I can go just visit my garden at my mum's house and keep an eye on it that way, but still I don't get my little oasis of greenery and that. So yeah, so it's just quite sad. I've only just got my garden stuff out, and then obviously I can't use any of it this year. No seeds, so I've got to put all my seeds and stuff away, and I'm going to put the hose back in the shed because I'm not going to need it. So yeah, but c'est la vie. It's just how it goes. But yeah, so I'm going to do that now. I'm going to go plant up those couple of plants and then start moving bits inside here, because yeah, my mum and her friend will be around within the hour, so I want to get busy and get stuff done. So yeah, but hey ho, I suppose it gives me one less thing for my brain to worry about. If I know that everything's moved. That's why I was kind of, can we please move my plants? And my mum was like, I know your brain, do you still want to move them? I'm like, yes. So yeah, so it actually takes an anxiety off my brain so much. So yeah, so it will help me a lot. So yeah, so that's happening, but for now I'm gonna just get this planted up and going. So yeah, so I was catch up with you lovely folks probably once my mum has been, show you the aftermath of no plants on my balcony. And then yeah, I didn't get around to soaking my mixer bowl yesterday, so I need to do that. The kitchen is a bit of a mess today, but I really don't want to do it. I might just put away the clean dishes so it makes a bit of a space somewhere, and then there's loads of stuff that I can actually cook dinner with tonight, and then I'll do the dishes tomorrow. But we will still do bacon, so I'm just going to organise all the stuff on the side so it looks a bit less shit, basically. Realism, you know, being poorly for a week and yeah, working with the energy you've got. There is a lot of recycling as well, so I think once that's out and off the side, that was like instant tidying up. So yeah, so I'll catch up with you beautiful people as we get going, and yeah, I'll show you the aftermath of no garden. My little house is going to seem so naked. It's had a garden so long out there, you know, so hey ho, tis a thing. So yeah, so I'll catch up with you in a wee bit. Hello. Taken apart my garden. That's been way more emotional than I thought it would be. Oh, I've had several cries, and I'm still feeling all the feelings. I know it's not forever, but still, it's a biggie. I've just taken down the coverings on my balcony. My mum and her friend has come round, who's an absolute rock star. They both are. And yeah, taken all my plants down to my mum's house for my stepdad to look after. All I've got left is the empty plant pots with no real plants in them. Just out here now is green waste and some dead plant pots really, and stuff I need to put away to do seedlings and stuff next year. But it just feels so sad. Yeah, let me show you my balcony. I'll be honest, I didn't realise that this was going to hit me quite as hard as it has, so I don't know how much more else I'm going to get done today, because I'm feeling way more delicate than I thought I would. So yeah, it's amazing things you have really big sentimental attachment to, and you don't realise how much till you have to kind of take them apart. It's not forever, but still. I don't have my garden this summer, and I look forward to my garden, so let me show you what remains, or what I've got left to clear up, basically. I did a couple of towels on the floor to put the plant pots in, and yeah, There is a stack of 4 there and 3 here of the balcony edge pots that are going to go in my shed. That's rubbish. And the bags of mud are going to go in the shed. There. Oh, there's another plant pot there. That's just recycled. That's part of the bottle that broke. And yeah, it's my balcony without its covering. Does it feel massive? Yes, but also it feels so naked. So yeah, it just doesn't feel right. So there we go. So feeling some big feelings. I will say I'm very sore as well because lots of my plants are way more little catchy and slicey and all the things. So let's close the door. That sounds stupid. I put the knife away. I just borrowed it to cut the rope. I couldn't unknot it, so but yeah, so I've now got not much, very naked balcony. Yeah, just big feelings that I don't like them. But where are we at now? It's just coming up to 2. I think the reality of today, sorry, grot on my Crocs, is going to be, I think I'm just going to work on this jumper. Managed to put together most of the dungarees. If I get the mixer soaking, I'll do some cake baking. I don't think a sketch was going to happen today. It would have done without the emotional kick of the teeth, but you know, yes, it is what it is. So yeah, so instead we'll finish our jumper and we'll make some cookies later. Obviously we'll share that with you. I'm pleased I got most of my sewing project done. Literally just need to connect the back to the front and then the top on properly, but yeah, it's not much sewing, but still, again, like I said yesterday, it's fitting. I'm not quite in the mood to fit stuff today. My hands are also quite sore from being caught on various things, and nails are filthy, so you tell you've been in the garden. So yeah, so I'm gonna need a shower today. Rye is home. First thing was able to help me move plant pots. That was good. Down into my mum's friend's car. But yeah, more emotionally hit than I really thought. So, and I'm still obviously getting over being poorly. So, kind of pushed it today. That was a big job. So yeah, I'm going to be kind to myself for the rest of the day, and we are still going to have a lovely creative day. I mean, I saved all my plants I wanted to. I moved all the plants out that I wanted to save. Got all the stuff together that I needed to. Found several big spiders on my balcony, and by big I mean like, if I use my head to finish, you know, that big. You know, when their legs angle. You know, proper horrible things. Several of them, several big sacks of babies. So yeah, killed a pile of spiders today. I know they're good for the ecosystem, but those big fuckers that grow up there, they're fucking named after the county I live in. They're called Hertfordshire spiders. They're shitbags. I grow them on my balcony. I hate them. They run across my feet and yeah, no. 90% of spiders I'm cool with, but not them. So, yeah, so no, they get met with a trowel. So but yeah, no. So I will probably tidy up out there, but just not today. There's no need. I don't want to move any more plant pots. I'm tired. So yeah, so although it's not been the biggest creative day, I've saved a whole load of my plants by getting rid of the dead stuff out of my balcony pots and moving stuff in. So everything that was alive is now altogether removed. It's just a lot. But yeah, so I know. So we're gonna finish our jumper today. I'm gonna crack on, get all the ribbon like I told you. I'm gonna do a couple more rows of granny squares, get edging sewn, crocheted on. And I'm gonna make the waistband that I want to make. I'm gonna go get my other ball of wool. Go give my hands a proper good scrub. And yeah, do that. Soak the mixer bowl, make some cookies later in the mixer. So that's a realistic thing out of 5 big creative tasks. We'll do 4 of them. The only one I'm not managing is sketchbook, but I can start that tomorrow as a nicey of 10 minutes and set my timer, and yeah, I think I'll start that tomorrow. But yeah, I didn't realise how big of a physical and emotional whack to the feelings doing my garden and getting rid of it would be. Even if it's only a temporary get rid of, still big feeling, so yay. But yeah, so I'm gonna go, I need to pick up these towels I've got on the floor, just shake them outside quickly, chuck them in the machine, wash my hands, and then yeah, I'm gonna go get some more black wool and get crocheting and get this bowl soaking. Do that before I get crocheting, just so then yeah, we can make some nice cookies. That'll be a nice bed, because I got right home today, so we got some nice dinner today. Got some sausages, so we'll do something with sausages. But yeah, so we'd like to do some realisms, kind of with finding a good even ground. So yeah, so there we go. So garden is safely moved to my mum's house, but I leaked several times, but it's done now, so I don't have to worry. So we're okay. So yeah, so I'll catch up with you beautiful folks a wee bit later, and we'll catch up, and I shall hopefully be showing you a finished crochet jumper while eating a cookie or baking the cookies that to then eat. So yeah, so I'll see you a bit later when we crack on, probably with some baking. Hello, we're looking at someone who had a 2-hour nap, because apparently getting emotional, it's tiring. I thought I'd share with you the little bit I've done by I keep calling it cardi, jumper. It's kind of at the end of my Sunday. So yeah, so let me show you what I've actually got done so far. Obviously I showed you how far I got sewing yesterday, but yeah, it's not been as, well, it's been a creative weekend, but it's not been a finished project weekend as I thought. But we started projects, which is amazing, because I am a shitbag for not even starting anything. Please excuse my hair, it's in a world of its own right now. But yeah, but we started in this week. I cut out the pattern, I cut out the fabric, and we have got it 80% sewn for a pair of dungarees, which is amazing, I think. Especially while being poorly this week. So yeah, I mean, I've kind of pushed myself this weekend, because although my voice has come back, there's still a bit of dullness to it. I am still in that getting better, so I've still got a good bit of the day, and yeah, obviously if I overdo it, like moving a shit ton of plant pots, my body needed a nap. Now I'm planning to have a hell of a lovely shower this evening. Oh, Rice, bless him, while I was napping, has tidied his bedroom and organised loads of stuff, so yeah, so we're chucking through the bath tonight. Well, so yeah, so I might have just a shower in the morning or tonight, we'll see on the level of energy. But yeah, so obviously we did really well in the dungarees. Let's make this bit a bit longer. This jumper obviously didn't exist the beginning of this week. I started it Wednesday night, and here we are at Sunday night. So the fact we are this far on this is spectacular, and the fact I've got this far and we're in June now. It's the 1st of June this as I'm filming this Sunday. So it's, yeah, we're officially in Pride Month. So now I've got to refresh my hair because it's more appropriate. Not that I don't love rainbows anyway, but yeah, so I think I shall go all out and even do the roots because they are a good centimetre now, so it kind of needs doing. But yeah, so this didn't exist Wednesday, so everything on it is amazing. So there we go, that's my, excuse the light, but yeah, there's one side, and then if I do it across, there's the other side, and then there's the back, and if you can tell, the v-neck front with that little bit, and then at the bottom I've started adding in the rows. I'm on to row 1, 2, 3, I think I'm on row 4, I'm about to start. 2, 3, 4, yeah, I'm about halfway through row 4. And then I do plan, I've only got another ball of wool, not that one, it's one in my room. The Aldi one's a bit skinnier, this one's quite chunky, so yeah, so I've got a different ball of wool than the Aldi one because this is the B&M, not B&M, Home Bargain Black. So yeah, so I plan to do a couple more rows on this and then make a ribbing band for the bottom, just so it will bring it in. Obviously we'll try it on, and if I just like the granny stitch bottom, I will leave it at the granny stitch bottom and then just edge around the neck and the armhole just with a bit of single crochet, just so it's got a bit of black, so it brings it all together. And yeah, quite good. My sister has already invited me around either tomorrow or Tuesday to her house. Go do some gardening little bits if I want, which is very nice of her. My friend has bought a brand new bed, so she's like, can you give us a hand? And I'm like, shout if you need a hand tidying. She's like, I may take you up on that, and I'm like, cool. So yeah, so you know, I'm gonna go do some bits at houses this week, so that'll be nice. But yeah, but for now I'm gonna go sit down and chill, get a new cold drink. My son's room is so loud, but he's having such a good time. It's all good. But yeah, so I think, yeah, I'm gonna sit down, get a nice cold drink. I'm gonna go get that chunky wool from my room and put this Aldi one back and carry on and get this jumper finished. So yeah, so that's kind of my aim, see how far I can get. I've obviously got curtain pull 2 at the moment because the sunlight is right in my eyes. There's a certain point in the day it just hits direct. So yeah, so it's been a bit of an emotional day, but I did a big job, which is amazing, and got it done. So yeah, so that is really good. But for now, I will love you and leave you. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, drop us a comment. How was your weekend? What did you get up to? You know, let me know. Even if it's like I just sat and blobbed, let me know if you blobbed. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not already, please drop us down and subscribe, and a good old-fashioned thumbs up to let me know you enjoyed it. And I will catch up with you beautiful people in my next video. Bye.